Hello, today I'm going to talk about managing student learning in a differentiated classroom, focusing on assessment. Assessment in a differentiated classroom focuses on making informed instructional decisions that promote the best assessment practices. In my classroom, I aim to incorporate diverse and frequent assessments to ensure that differentiation is not just a strategy, but a natural part of my instructional approach. So everyone, no matter their academic level, learning preference, or interest, has the access to thrive within my classroom. So first, assessment and differentiation. So the relationship between assessment and a teacher's ability to effectively differentiate instruction is very connected. It's all interconnected, as effective differentiation depends on the insights gained from those formative or ongoing assessments. This allows for the instructor to properly monitor and adjust throughout the course of the semester. I like how the chapter stated it is useful to think about assessment in a differentiated classroom in terms of when it should occur, what should be assessed, and why assessment might be used, as Tomlinson and Moon stated. This is important because it highlights how interconnected the two are. So, reflection on practice. When I reflect on my current assessment or measurement practices, I have to ask myself, is this being effective or is this moving me towards more differentiation? I use the current school system of initial and retake. This is our policy. This is a policy in which students are first taught the knowledge and then take an initial summative assessment. Whatever their grade is, they can take another assessment only if it's below a 70. No matter what their grade is, if it's below a 70, they can take a retake to that assessment. While this may seem good, I never really get to see the true pre-learning that these students had before they even entered my classroom on this topic. So I find the system to be flawed. To better differentiate in my classroom, I must get away from the one-size-fits-all approach and locate the area of the pool appropriate for each student. If some students are comfortable in 6 feet, then it's important that I know that they're comfortable in 6 feet. Some students still need to be in the 1 or 2 foot side of the pool. All this matters when you think pedagogically, what students know and what they don't know, to really differentiate the content for them. And I think in my teaching, I can do better at this. And I have done better with certain things. So one of those things is an assessment in action that I've done on an economic systems unit in my social studies class. I used the pre-assessment in the form of a concept mapping. And later, I used journal reflections for students to talk about their concept mapping. And while this was not a grade, it was a simple, did you do it or did you not? This allowed me to monitor and adjust and inform my instruction based upon what the students were saying. And I can know if they were hitting the day's learning targets. And then finally, I administered a summative assessment in the form of a final project in which students created posters for their country's economy that they were assigned. And this helped me measure students' learning, as it was a summative assessment that encapsulated everything that they were doing. So from the pre-assessment with the concept mapping when they knew nothing about it, to the ongoing assessments as I'm teaching and we're doing journal reflections and we're talking more about it, to the summative assessment, I begin to see how they're all effective and how they're all interconnected, as Tomlinson and Moon states. So I want to end with this quote. In the Tomlinson and Moon reading, Tomlinson and Moon quote George Bernard Shaw in chapter 5, and they say, "The only man who behaved sensibly was my tailor. He took my measurement anew every time he saw me, while all the rest went on with their old measurements and expected them to fit me." I just find this to be powerful that they use this George Bernard Shaw quote because it shows in our students we should look at them anew every day. So finally, I want to end with my references for my last slide. I use Carol Ann Tomlinson and Tanya R. Moon's 2013 book Assessment and Student Success in a Differentiated Classroom by ASCD. Thank you.